Hi everyone, I thought I would come to you live from where I am at the moment, so I think my lives are going to have to be a little bit ad hoc. I'm out and about, so thought I would come in with a question that was put to me this week from one of the members of the group around confidence. And that's quite timely, and maybe it was triggered by the fact that by joining the group and sharing some of your answers to the questions in joining the group, one of the things that we were able to send out to you was the confidence checklist. So if you're hearing that for the first time and think, I don't have a confidence checklist, then it might be if you joined on a mobile phone, sometimes those questions are, you don't actually see them when you join a group. So I'm going to, at the end of this live, pop the link into the comments below. So if you don't have the confidence checklist and you would like it, you'll be able to click on that and that will get emailed through to your inbox. But I just thought I'd share a little bit about the background behind that checklist. I am actually on a bike path, someone just rode past. A little bit about the checklist and where that came from, because the question around confidence is obviously a critically important one for most of us in terms of any of the endeavours that we take on, but certainly in the athletic sense. Confidence is really critical to setting us up for high performance. That when our confidence isn't there, understandably, we feel quite challenged by that. So a couple of years ago, I was working with someone who really wanted some support and help around building their confidence, and they really struggled to, when I asked them, what would it look like for you when you're feeling confident? They found it hard to put that into words, which makes sense. Sometimes that's a hard thing to actually be able to say. So what I did with them is I went actually back through the evidence and the research to see what we know about confidence. What does the evidence tell us that confidence looks like? And that's actually where that checklist came from. So it is evidence-based. Those who know me will know that I'm a big fan of using the science to back up the things that I'm saying and the things that I work with. Otherwise it's just my opinion, which isn't as reliable as the science. So what I did was I went back through what the research suggests looks like confidence and then put it in the form of the checklist. Now what actually happened for that person when I did that, they worked their way through the checklist, and interestingly enough, by about the time they got to point 7 or 8, it didn't really feel like they needed the checklist anymore anyway, and it no longer became part of our conversation because they were feeling more confident. So I guess it served its purpose. So when you see that confidence checklist, the first thing I would say to you is, I think from memory there's about 10 things on there. Please don't feel like you need to jump in and tackle all 10 of those things at once. In fact, I would suggest that's probably one of the last things you would want to do. I think that where confidence builds is incrementally, so little bits, and I think that for most of our mental game, don't take it all on at once. Just work for little bits of progress, one step at a time, and as you build on those, then you can start to bring in some of the other skills. The other thing that I'd say is that I wouldn't even necessarily go through that list sequentially. So you don't have to start at the top and work your way down. That's why they're not numbered. They're simply tick boxes there. So you'll see things at the top like total commitment, and then further down you'll see imagery on a daily basis. So they're things that you can think about and try. All of those things will contribute towards building your confidence, but there's nothing to say that it has to be in any particular order. So I wanted to say that. You'll also see on the second page of the checklist that there is some descriptions of each of those elements, and that's a way for you to start to work out how you want to build towards working on a particular point on the checklist. So maybe there's something there that sticks out to you more than for others, and you'd like to work on one of those particular aspects. So for example, that first one, total commitments, you can look at that and go, oh yes, I'm totally committed. I'd encourage you to spend some time thinking about, what does your commitment look like? If you feel like you're totally committed to something that you're working on, how do you know that? How if you were explaining it to me, how would you know that you are actually totally committed? So what are you actually putting towards the activity, and what are you saying no to? Because sometimes one of the best ways to work out how we move forward, it's not so much what we say yes to, but it's what we say no to. When we say no to things, that gives us space then to work towards the things that are important to us. So, there's some interesting things we can say to ourselves when it comes to what does that total commitment look like. And then you can look through some of the items there and see which particular skills that you want to build on. So you might have more questions for me around some of those. Let's keep it all in this live chat here, so I'll certainly look down through the comments over the days to come and see any particular questions that you have. But certainly what I would say is each of the elements that is there in that checklist will help you build on your confidence. Take it slowly, don't do it all at once, and then let me know how your progress is going. Let me know how it's going for you in terms of focusing on those particular elements, and where you want some more information on. So I'll be live every Wednesday. They're just short little videos from me just to build on particular questions that people might have. But what I would say is if your confidence is something that you're wanting to build on, start small, have a little bit of a plan, maybe use the confidence checklist as your foundation for that, and you know, give yourself credit for working through each of those elements and building your confidence. So thanks for jumping in this week. You might be seeing this live, or you might be watching this on repeat, but I'll certainly obviously keep monitoring it. And remember that if you'd like to ask any specific questions that I could address in the Q&As, either just send them through to me in Messenger, or each week we'll put up the post and you can always put it in the comments if you're comfortable to do that. Have a great week, everyone, and I'm going to go out and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day that we've got here in North Queensland.